For years, Dubai was the miracle of the desert. Towering skyscrapers, artificial islands, luxury beyond imagination. A city built from sand and ambition that defied nature itself. But 2026 has exposed the cracks. Dubai's debt has exploded to over $160 billion, double what nearly destroyed it in 2009. Rental costs jumped 25% in 1 year, with one-bedroom apartments now costing $30,000 annually. Property prices surged 16.9%, inflating another dangerous bubble. The city's debt-to-GDP ratio exceeds 110%, 3 times Abu Dhabi's 35%. With $42 billion in bonds maturing by 2027, and economists estimating a 40% crisis probability within the decade, Dubai faces a reckoning. The same crushing debt that nearly destroyed it in 2009 is quietly building again. Only this time the numbers are bigger and the risks more severe. Today we're uncovering why Dubai is going broke and what happens when a city built on dreams can't pay its bills. The mirage is fading. Dubai's story starts with a near-death experience most people have forgotten. In November 2009, Dubai World announced it couldn't pay $59 billion in debt. Global markets crashed, the MSCI Emerging Markets Index dropping 2.6% in a day. Only a $10 billion bailout from oil-rich Abu Dhabi saved Dubai from collapse. But Dubai didn't fix its problems. It kicked them down the road. The IMF revealed in 2019 that Dubai's debt exceeded 100% of GDP, totaling approximately $150 billion. By 2025, government-related entities held combined debts exceeding $160 billion. That's not a stable city's debt. That's a country in crisis. Unlike Abu Dhabi, which sits on 8% of the world's oil reserves, 97 billion barrels, Dubai has almost nothing. Oil accounts for less than 1% of its economy, with proven reserves of just 4 billion barrels. Every glittering tower, every palm-shaped island, every record-breaking project was built with borrowed money. When the financial crisis hit, property prices collapsed by 50%, with some areas dropping 64%. Dubai's real estate market lost $100 billion in value. Abu Dhabi's bailout came with a price. The Burj Dubai became the Burj Khalifa, named after Abu Dhabi's ruler, a symbolic reminder of who holds power. Dubai learned the wrong lesson from 2009. Instead of building sustainable economy, it doubled down. More luxury developments, more ambitious projects, more debt. Between 2010 and 2025, Dubai issued over $75 billion in new bonds in sukuk. 15 years later, the fundamentals haven't changed. Dubai still runs budget deficits averaging 3 to 5% of GDP annually, still depends on its wealthier neighbor, and is still one shock away from another crisis. Walk through Dubai today, and construction cranes are everywhere. Property prices have surged 80% between 2020 and 2025, with 2025 alone seeing a 16.9% increase. On the surface, this looks like success. But peel back the layers and you'll find the same dangerous pattern that caused the 2009 crash. Dubai's economy revolves around real estate. It's not just a sector, it's the entire strategy. Real estate and construction contribute approximately 30% to Dubai's GDP. In 2002, Dubai allowed foreigners to buy property, triggering a speculative frenzy. By 2025, foreign investors accounted for 85% of all transactions. Developers focused on luxury developments with profit margins exceeding 40%. But luxury developments don't create affordable housing. They're investment vehicles for wealthy foreigners parking money. The result is a housing crisis hiding in plain sight. Average rental costs increased 25% in 2025 alone, with a one-bedroom apartment in Dubai Marina averaging $30,000 annually. Dubai has rental yields of 5 to 7%, among the highest globally, which attracts investors but pushes out residents. Workers are moving to cheaper areas or leaving entirely. The city is hollowing out its workforce to chase short-term profits. Unlike Singapore, where 80% of residents live in government-subsidized housing, Dubai has let the market run wild. But the bigger issue is vulnerability. Foreign direct investment into real estate reached $16 billion in 2025, representing 42% of total Dubai. When international investors get nervous, they pull money out fast. In 2009, foreign capital fled and property values collapsed by 64%. That same risk exists today, only the debt is bigger and stakes higher. Dubai has created an economy that only works when wealthy people keep pouring money into overpriced apartments. That's not a business model. That's a Ponzi scheme. Dubai's leaders talk constantly about economic diversification, and on paper it's worked. Oil is now less than 1% of GDP, but dig deeper and the narrative falls apart. Tourism brought 17 million visitors in 2025, up from 14.4 million in 2019. That's impressive until you realize tourism accounts for just 5% of GDP, approximately $22 billion, but is incredibly fragile. During COVID, visitor numbers dropped 67% to just 5.5 million in 2020. Wholesale and retail trade makes up 26% of GDP, contributing $89 billion annually. But much of this is pass-through trade with profit margins typically under 5%. The real problem is what Dubai hasn't built. High-tech manufacturing accounts for just 9% of GDP compared to 21% in Singapore. Research and development investment is a meager 0.5% of GDP compared to Singapore's 2.2%. The average salary in Dubai's manufacturing sector is $28,000, while in technology hubs it exceeds $80,000. Dubai has become a regional hub for services that rely entirely on external money flowing in. Compare this to Singapore. Singapore's pharmaceutical exports alone exceed $50 billion annually. It ranks 6th globally on the Economic Complexity Index compared to Dubai's 52nd. Dubai built hotels and shopping malls. When global economic conditions tighten, Dubai has no shock absorbers, no deep industrial base, no sticky industries that keep operating when tourists stop coming. Dubai's deepest problem is that the entire economy rests on perception. Dubai sells an image of infinite wealth and endless growth, but maintaining the illusion is expensive. Consider the numbers. Dubai's population is 92% foreign, 3.6 million expatriates out of 3.9 million total residents. The average length of stay for expatriates is just 4.8 years. Their wealth and spending can evaporate overnight if conditions change. Emiratis make up only 8%, approximately 320,000 people. That means 92% of the economy depends on people with no long-term stake in the city's future. During the 2009 crisis, an estimated 300,000 expatriates left Dubai within 6 months, leaving behind 3,000 cars abandoned at the airport. In 2025, congestion worsened significantly, with commuters spending an average 89 hours per year in traffic. Property prices soared beyond reach, with the average price per square foot reaching $500 in premium areas. These aren't signs of sustainable success. They're signs of a system pushed beyond its limits. Dubai also faces an environmental crisis. Temperatures regularly exceed 45 degrees Celsius. There's almost no rainfall, averaging just 100 millimeters annually. Every drop of fresh water comes from energy-intensive desalination, with 42 plants producing 470 million gallons daily at a cost exceeding $2 billion annually. The UAE has one of the highest per capita water consumption rates in the world, at 550 liters per day, compared to the global average of 170 liters. Energy consumption is equally staggering at 11,000 kilowatt-hours per capita annually, triple the global average. The city is built in defiance of nature, sustained by massive inputs costing an estimated $15 billion annually. But Dubai's oil is running out, with reserves depleting at a rate that suggests exhaustion by 2030. The fundamental question isn't whether Dubai can maintain its lifestyle. It's what happens when the money runs out. Dubai's greatest vulnerability isn't external, it's Abu Dhabi. Since 2009, everyone knows Dubai survives at Abu Dhabi's pleasure. Abu Dhabi holds the oil wealth, controls the UAE's central bank, and can choose whether to bail Dubai out again. Abu Dhabi's GDP is $320 billion compared to Dubai's $115 billion. Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth funds hold over $1.5 trillion in assets. The Abu Dhabi Investment Authority alone manages $850 billion. This is the disparity in power. Every time Dubai faces crisis, Abu Dhabi has stepped in with liquidity, loans, and direct bailouts totaling over $30 billion since 2009. But each intervention shifts power further toward Abu Dhabi. Dubai's independence is increasingly theoretical. In 2014, Abu Dhabi provided another $10 billion emergency loan. In 2019, an additional $5 billion credit line. The question isn't whether Abu Dhabi will help next time, it's what conditions it will impose. Some analysts suggest Abu Dhabi might not bail Dubai out again. Why should it? Dubai's reckless borrowing creates risk for the entire UAE. The 2009 crisis proved UAE debt isn't implicitly guaranteed despite global assumptions. UAE credit default swap spreads spiked to 475 basis points, indicating severe default risk. Abu Dhabi's debt-to-GDP ratio is a manageable 35%, compared to Dubai's 110%. This dependency creates a dangerous cycle. Dubai must keep growing to service its debts, with annual debt servicing costs exceeding $8 billion. But more growth creates more risk, making Abu Dhabi less willing to intervene. It's a trap with no good exit. Dubai built itself on sand, literally and financially. Outstanding debt grew from $80 billion in 2009 to over $160 billion in 2025, a 100% increase. Real change would mean investing in education, currently 2.8% of GDP versus 5% in developed nations, high-value industries, and affordable housing. Stopping unsustainable borrowing of $8 to $12 billion in new bonds annually. But Dubai's identity is built on being biggest and most ambitious. Scaling back feels like failure. The likely scenario isn't collapse, it's continued dependence. With $42 billion in bonds maturing between 2024 to 2027, and economists estimating a 40% crisis probability within a decade, the question is whether Dubai can change before the bill comes due.